welcome to Seen Through Glass. Now, a few days ago, I got back from America to find that my Abarth 695 Biposto had died. The keys wouldn't unlock the car, I had to unlock it manually, the ignition wouldn't turn on, the engine wouldn't start, nothing would happen, the car was dead. So I assumed the battery had gone flat. So I jumped into my sister's Mini, headed down to Halfords and picked up a jump starter pack. I know it's not the ideal way to save batteries, but it was the only thing I could think of on a Sunday morning. So I raced back in my pajamas, hooked up the starter pack and managed to bring the Abarth back to life. Woo!
Once I brought the car back to life, my next question was, what had gone wrong? And my first assumption, if I'm honest, was the new stereo system that I had fitted how long ago was it now? A month or so ago? Which is the sort of head unit up here in the dash and then a massive big speaker box in the back. However, I had unclipped the front of the system because I do it for security, but also I kind of assumed in terms of power that this being out would help it. So I wasn't sure. Anyway, I text Sextons who fitted the system and they agreed that there's really no reason why this system should have drained the batteries. So I'm pretty sure the culprit is this jobby, an aftermarket iPod charger. Doing some research online, a lot of you say that when these are plugged in, even if the ignition is off and nothing is plugged into the actual charger, they can still drain the battery. Anyway, to be safe and to be sure, I'm going to head down to Sextons so they can look at their system but also test the battery and see where I was losing power.
Who remembers that track from a Casey Neistat video? I loved it the minute he used it. I've been looking for an excuse to use it again. Anyway, look, here we are. We are now at Sextons. The car's parked up inside, and the guys, when they get a chance, are going to have a quick look to see, as I say, where the battery is getting drained. I thought, considering I didn't really do a video after the system got fitted, now would be a good chance to show you guys exactly how it all works. So as soon as we've gone through the battery bits, I will then talk you through the actual audio system a bit more. But yeah, bear with me on that one. This is going to be an incredibly short video. Let me get out of the Sextons unit and then I will explain to you what is going on. Yes, so it is neither the audio system, not that we suspected that too much, nor the iPod cable that I did suspect, mainly due to a lot of your comments and a bit of internet research. We plugged in the sort of battery tester, as you saw, the amp tester, and it read 0 on everything. Of course there were spikes of activity if you open the door or unlock it, etc. You get spikes, but at a rest the battery was reading 0. So Italian engineering at its finest. The very kind guys at Sextons were kind of talking me through all the different potential issues or possibilities. This car itself actually sat on a dealer's showroom floor for about 6 to 9 months before I bought it. So they did say that there's a chance the battery could have
sulfurized, or anyway, got damaged in that time. However, I have left it for longer periods of time than 4 days and it's been totally fine. They did say the weather, the cold snap definitely could have affected it. It's got quite a piddly little battery in it, this car. And they say, you know, sometimes, depending on how I used it in the build up to the trip, you know, the weather, the charge of the battery at that time, there's a lot of different factors that could have resulted in it going flat. So, what are we gonna do? They did recommend that you can actually go to Halfords these days, and there's apparently a machine at Halfords that sort of tests the health of your battery. So I might go and do that in the next couple of days when I get a chance. But otherwise, I'm just going to keep an eye on it. It seems to be working totally fine now. I've got that jump starter pack as sort of probably torrid as it is. But the guys actually said, Sextons said, it's totally fine. It's such a small little engine in here, and everything's quite basic in its components, even though it's got lots of racing parts. Those jump starter packs are totally fine. So I could probably just put that in the boot, carry it around with me, and if anything happens, I can just kick-start it again. So yeah, definitely Italian engineering at its finest. A very short little update video. Whilst I've got you, I will pull over somewhere and talk you through the audio system a little quicker, because lots of you have been asking. But in terms of why did my Abarth die, I don't know. No one seems to know. It just did. It just had a bit of a hissy fit and died. Right, now because we just tested the battery, everything's kind of restarted. But up here is the main unit that was installed, which is a Kenwood KDC BT73 DAB. But yeah, it's a Kenwood system. It was just slotted into the kind of hole that was already there. They've butched up the sides, as you can see, with a bit of a black surrounder, so it looks nice and neat. And as I showed you at the beginning, you can remove the front of the unit. So it's a pretty straightforward, simple unit. We went with this one because it had minimal buttons. I didn't want to get too carried away. When we power up, maybe I need the ignition on. Ignition on. As I say, we have just restarted the system, so it's not going to be very good. Press the volume knob. Demo off, yeah. Might as well set it up whilst I'm filming for you guys. Anyway, as you can see, we've got digital radio, DAB, we've got the tuner radio, there's a USB, 2 USB slots, Bluetooth audio, and an auxiliary slot, and then you go into standby. So down here, next to the sort of standard cigarette lighter power charger that I use, there's also an auxiliary charger here which links directly to this system. My DAB antenna is just very neatly tucked into this corner, so that's all pretty simple and easy to use. And then the sound all comes from this custom-made speaker box in the back. So let me go and open the boot. So yes, this box was custom made by the guys at Sextons, and basically is where all the sound comes from. There are no other speakers in the car. As you can see, the unit is up there. We've got a tiny bit of cable here connecting in to the speakers. The reason being that this box was custom made, and we did it this way so that I can take this box directly out. It's just bolted down with some straps there. I don't know if you can see. I can simply unscrew those bolts, slide the box out, and then for track days it means I've got that extra lightweight ability. Just unplug that cord there. So as I say, all the sound comes from this custom made box. The speakers are Alpine speakers. You get such good sound from them. Bass, high end, mid, it does sound awesome. And to be honest, the system's a bit better than the system I have in the McLaren. I've been really pleased with the system ever since it got installed by the guys at Sextons. Hopefully you heard some of the kind of sound quality at the beginning. It's quite hard to play music on YouTube because you need licensed, royalty-free music to play. But I want to give you that sort of like sneak peek at least. It's very reassuring to know that it hasn't been draining the battery because, as I say, it is great to use. It's made this car the daily that I always wanted it to be. A short but sweet video, but as I say, a lot of you have been asking for sort of show around the sound system. And also, I wanted to update you on the fact that my car died. So I hope you've enjoyed it anyway. Give it a thumbs up if you have, and make sure to subscribe for plenty more videos to come.